Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hazeeq, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Near Protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. The market cap is currently sitting at $3.68 billion, and the prices are retracing down to their January-February 2024 lows. We also have our token unlock schedule here on CMC, and this will conclude in February 2026. I think by that time, most of us are going to be out of the market. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be October 2025, not February. So my apologies. That was a little bit of disinformation on my part. So it's October 11th, 2025. That is when the entire vesting will be concluded. In terms of exchanges, you have everything from Binance to Bybit to Coinbase to OKX. Essentially every major exchange has this project listed. Now, if we go to their website, they're essentially the #1 AI project in the space at the moment, and you can build AI applications using their technology. And here is a little chart showing their applications, the infrastructures and models, and different types of data processing. So yeah, it's looking bullish for Near Protocol in my opinion. With the latest DeepSeek revelation, I think the AI space is going to get a lot more competitive. On their Twitter, you can take a look at their most recent updates. So they integrated Berachain on day one. Berachain was a pretty massive launch on February 7th, I believe. And they are updating their mobile app. And On Social makes your on-chain social experience smooth and sleek. Looking for the next gen browser for Near Social? Try On Social with extra features. So browse and post, explore apps, private messaging, send tips, join DAO communities, discover DAOs and profiles. So they have their own little social platform here as well. Now let's switch over to the price action chart, and I want to take a look at the daily quickly, and then we'll switch over to the weekly chart. So this is the daily. We've got our massive support block from $2.95 down to $2.30. That is going to be a huge accumulation zone for us, and if we manage to dip even lower below $2.50, I think that's going to be a great area to dollar cost average into Near. But in all honesty, even the current prices are very lucrative. We retested the 1.414 perfectly with this wick. Look at that, $2.69.08. And there's a chance we're going to come down to this 1.618, which is the target of this whole fractal. So if we're losing the local bottom, which we already lost, that was the November 4th bottom from last year. We lost that, we retested the 1.414, and at the moment the 1.618 is our next target right below that. Let me just fix that up quickly. There we go. So this is a little more accurate representation of the block. Of course, you can use the weekly or the daily time frames, and you can tweak it a little bit here and there, but for the most part, this is the zone that I'm looking at in terms of accumulation on the daily chart. If we take a look at the daily RSI, we're on our way down. We're even below our July lows here, and we're approaching the October 2023 area, which was at 35 to 36 on the index here. And that is going to be another sign that we're bottoming out. This is going to be a good area to pick up more Near at, because if the RSI drops that low, there's a chance that the price action is going to be lower as well. But that's not always the case. They don't always correlate perfectly. And that's when we can spot those bullish divergences. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Let's switch over to the weekly. And before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you're interested in getting more exclusive content, you want to support me as a creator, and you like what you're seeing here on YouTube and you want more, feel free to check out the Patreon. That's definitely a place for you. There's a 7-day free trial, which means you can get access to all of my content since the inception of the page. So that means you get podcasts, low cap gems,
technical analysis, project reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We try to do posts there on a daily basis. We cover airdrops and a lot of stuff that we don't really cover on YouTube because we don't have as much time. And of course, because patrons get more stuff and more content. And if you're interested in that, the link is down below in the description. Thank you all. Let's continue on with the video.
On the weekly chart, what's happening is we are back testing this block, or I should say previous channel down pattern as support. Now this is a very bullish thing. The negative thing is that we lost this area here. So this area was a massive support range for us, and we lost that. That was between $4 and $3.50. We lost that, unfortunately, and hopefully this will be our local bottom at the moment. We can bounce off the previous resistance of the channel a few times and confirm it as support, and that will be our signal that, you know, this is the bottom of the wave if we come back and bounce off that trend line a few times. Of course, we can't look into the future, but this is what we're looking at based on this previous channel. Now, we were looking at a potential wave 3 here for Near Protocol. So this was our wave 1. This is our wave 2 here, and we're looking at a massive wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. So as long as wave 3 is bigger than wave 5 or wave 1, this is essentially a valid Elliott wave structure. But if, let's say, wave 4 starts dropping way below the wave 1 high, or even just by a little bit, so the wave 4 low is supposed to be higher than the wave 1 high. And as long as we adhere to that, this Elliott wave structure is intact. So this bottom here that we're looking at is supposed to be our wave 2 bottom. We're looking at a wave 3 probably into May 2025, June 2025, a correction into August, July 2025. From there, we have one last rise towards the end of the year. We either print a double top pattern there, or we print a new all-time high. That is yet to be seen for Near Protocol. In the previous cycle, Near managed to print its all-time high in January 2022 when Bitcoin reached its peak in November 2021. Actually, my apologies, we weren't on the weekly chart there, we were on the daily. So just to bring back the Elliott wave, so this is what we're looking at here, right? $40 to $50 as the peak for Near Protocol in this cycle. I believe Near is going to be one of the few projects that is able to break through its previous cycle high. The reason for that is because it didn't really go through a proper cycle last time, so this isn't really an old project. But of course, if you're buying into new projects, you have a lot more profit potential simply because it's a new project and it hasn't seen any all-time highs before. That's the logic that is here in the crypto space, and this is the way things work. Now we can take a look at this yellow trend line that is acting as a resistance. We briefly broke past it in December a few months ago, and then we crashed back down, and now we're crashing from this essentially critical zone that we were hoping was going to send us into a new local top. That didn't happen, and in fact we're breaking down from there. And of course this is not the ideal situation for us. However, we have to adapt to what the markets are giving us. In terms of the larger Fibonacci here from the bear market bottom to the previous bull market top, we are retesting the 0.382 at $3.25. That was a retest we saw back in July 2024. The next level below that is the 0.236, and that is at $2.11. So you still have a little bit to go if you want to catch Near at that price down there, but I don't know if that is going to happen. I'm waiting for February 14th for the Chinese New Year celebration to conclude, and I think after that we can start expecting a recovery and a V-shaped recovery essentially for a lot of projects. Until then, we could probably see another dip or further correction for some projects, maybe not all of them. That's just what I think. In terms of the RSI on the weekly, we're also dropping below this support here. Very similar situation to what we're seeing on the price action chart. And the stochastic was in the overbought here in December, November 2024. Now we're in the oversold, just like we were all the way back in June to September 2024. So this is a good indicator telling us that we're bottoming out. The bottom is potentially in already. You have your bearish cross on the MACD. The last time we had the bearish cross was back in May 2024. That confirmed this correction that we had afterwards, after that March high. So this acted as a confirmation, this bearish cross on the MACD, as a confirmation of the continuation of the down. This time around, it could be the exact same thing. We had our bearish cross in January, and this could be a confirmation of this downtrend that we've had since January. However, this just could be a smaller downtrend. That's why everything is playing out much quicker here. This was a more prolonged correction, and this is your, this is potentially your bottom here, guys. We're potentially sitting at our local bottom for near protocol, and you can also look at this whole structure as an ABC correction. So this is your ABC, and again, this is potentially our bottom. We've gone down approximately 60% from the local top. So everything is pointing towards the fact that we're going to start our recovery very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure to dollar cost average into your altcoins if they're down. Of course, not financial advice. And make sure to have your targets ready and set for the end of the bull market. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and have a good day.